Dolls. This is Primera Spot at 9-1 coming in at you live again with the Premier World League with my co-host SauceCityLitee.
How you doing?
Our commissioner is SauceCityLitee.
What's going on, guys?
Alrighty, we got a lot of topics for you for this week. I'm gonna kick it to Sauce so he could chatter about it.
Alright, well, the first thing I definitely want to talk about is the new update. I know Brett's been playing a little bit of it. Tell us what you think about it, Brett.
Well, I mean, I guess the more broad answer is the skins are sweet. There's
Alright, what's your favorite skin? What's your favorite skin?
bias, but probably the Lucio skin. I think that one's pretty sweet.
He looks
Yeah,
like
he looks
Lisa
like.
Hendricks.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Cabron's tweet about that was spot on. I was laughing about that. I think it's about time they gave him something that's not a seasonal skin that looks sweet. So I'm happy about that.
Do you actually have the skin?
Yeah. I'm a nerd,
Alright.
and I spent the first 3 hours that the update came out grinding the arcade stuff, as you saw, and I'm sure we're gonna talk about. So I pulled a
Oh,
lot of the
definitely.
skins
We're
already.
definitely gonna go to that. But apparently there's something that's with his like music thing. Like it's different
Yes.
songs or something. You want to tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about that? I don't have the skin
Yeah.
yet, so I don't
It's
know.
kind of it's kind of like a, I don't want to call it jazz because it's not jazz, but it's a good attempt at it. When he changes between his songs, you can hear it. It's you got to turn your game volume way up and turn. If you're not in a party, it's easier. I went to the training range to hear it, and yeah, you can hear it. There's some saxophone, a little trumpet in there. It's
So it's a
a
little jazzy.
yeah, get the ladies involved.
That's the best part of Lucio. His dance is awesome. His dance is my
Oh yeah,
favorite.
100%.
My favorite skin is like probably between Genji and Tracer. Like both of them just look crazy. The Tracer, I mean
Yeah,
the Genji one,
yeah,
he just looks like the Green Power Ranger. I have a bunch like of memories when he was like the evil Green Ranger just beating up all the other Power Rangers. And like Tracer just looks like a graffiti artist. Looks pretty dope. What about you, Premier? What's your favorite skin?
It has to be that 50 cruiser style diva. I think she looks bae, and all the other skins are
She looks
kind of.
good.
I mean, what else do you kind of want? You want a little like old style 50s inspired diva, where you pretty much cruising in your car looking fly. She's a hot little chica. You can see it in her attire. You can see it in her like in her mech. Like I just like her skin. Like I feel like a lot of diva players are really hype over the new officer skin. If you play Heroes of the Storm, but like to me that was a little all right, like this one, I could dig it, especially as another legendary skin for Diva. She only really has two, Biva or the Junebug. So this one's like pretty out there, and I dig it.
Yeah. Maybe we get a nice little cosplay from Kayla Rachel one day of this new skin.
I mean, I can only hope for it.
no
Alright, so
comment.
now Brett, no comment. Alright, so Brett, I know that like you said, you were grinding your arcade games a lot, and you were really feeling yourself on this game mode called Capture the Flag, right? Is
Listen,
that what it's
man.
called?
Listen, man. I,
Listen,
I gotta,
listen.
I gotta, I gotta clear some things up, and
Hold
I
on.
got a
I mean,
chance to clear it up.
in our Discord, bro, like you were just like, hey, queue up if you want to get bodied. We're on a 15 game win streak,
All
no
right, it was a
stopping
little
us.
more reckless than that, bro. It was a little more reckless than that. Listen, though. All right, so here's what happened. All right, Bolts and I were just trying to grind some arcade earlier today. Wild Tiger joined our group, and we started taking the 3v3s real competitive. I went to make some food, came back, and we had 6 people in the party. Volts had assembled Volts and Wild Tiger had assembled
Voltron.
what, in their words, was the God Squad. And I'm not gonna lie, for about 2.5 hours, I don't think we lost. I don't think we had flags capped on us in those two and a half
Man, sounds
hours.
sounds too good to be true.
We were running the scene. So yeah, you know what? I was real confident in my team. We everything was good, but we hadn't dealt with adversity yet. Little did I know, when adversity hit a lot of those players, they crumbled, man. They
They crumbled
crumbled.
under the pressure, bro.
And I'm not saying any names, but I don't think I'll be teaming with Volts or Buzz Bunny in 66 Capture the Flag. I'll team with them in Premier League, but I don't think I'll be teaming with them in Capture the Flag
There,
in a
there
long
was a
time because it.
time that Buzz Bunny lagged out with a res, and
If you
then
caught
that's
the
when I heard
last
it. I'm
match,
done. I'm done.
if
I
you
ain't
caught the
playing with
last
you
match,
no more.
bro, we were fighting on point. The last fight, it was 2-2, man. He had res, and I was the last one to die, and everybody else was quiet. And my camera went from me jumping around on the point trying to contest to Buzz Bunny standing right where he spawned in a couple minutes earlier, and he just lagged out. So I'm just gonna
Oh,
say, man, uh, I'm just those are my homies, and I'll team with them in the league. But 6v6, I am a free agent, gonna be looking to make a new team, and
so speaking of like your free agency and everything, I know that we've been toying with ideas of having like community events and like new community tournaments. And do you want to tell anybody about your ideas?
well, I mean, I'm behind these 100%. I'm not going to take credit for them though. I think these are more so. This seemed like it was an idea of yours. So if it's successful, I'm going to let you take the credit for it.
All right, well, that's
If
what I
it's
need,
negative,
bro.
I'll take the hit. But
That's
yeah, I
what I
mean,
need, bro.
the way we got the schedule set up for the Premier League and how we've had every other Premier League schedule set up, Fridays are wide open. So like the possibility of like a reoccurring event,
Tournament.
yeah, like week 1, week 2, week 3 on Fridays where you play with your team in a certain game mode. I'm not gonna lie, it's a refreshing change from like you'd be surprised how much the meta changes when you play those 60. I mean, like Diva's like stupid broken. Like Diva literally just goes on point, eats all the spam that's trying to shoot her because if you haven't played the capture the flag, the only way you can stop the team from capturing the flag when they're standing on the flag is by making them take damage. And obviously Diva's defense matrix literally makes damage disappear. So you put a Winston bubble on the point, and then you put a Diva in the middle. That's literally how Excel's team bodied us. They ran
Oh
that triple
man.
tank, and we just didn't have the flexibility to counter it. And so I mean, like the meta changes, it's fun. It's a fun game. So I'd be more than willing and really excited to try putting that together. We
So
just
what?
need to have like 4 teams
So
ish.
what you're telling me is that I think their name is Vengeance. It has the best team already because Proto is the best diva in the world.
That's true. That's true. I'd like to see if teams elected to stay together, or if there'd be new teams for the other league.
I
I think it'd be
I
cool to
sort of
have new
think it.
teams.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool to have new teams because it looked a lot more fun with like a bunch of like different elements thrown together.
Well, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't know if you heard our party. We had Buzz and Wild Tiger, who both have thick Puerto Rican accents, yelling, and then you have Aaron's who doesn't talk. Bolt's going, I don't know, man. And
yeah, I
then
don't know.
me and oh man, I feel bad because I'm forgetting somebody. Who was our last person?
It was
Rezi,
you,
Rezi,
Aaron's, Rezi.
Rezi,
Yeah.
Rezi. Rezi would mute his mic every 5 minutes and forget to unmute it, and 30 minutes later we have to ask him to unmute it again. So, just it was a unique environment on that team, that's for sure. But yeah, that does add to it. Definitely adds to the fun.
Definitely. Primera, did you get to watch any of those games that they played?
No, I was too busy grinding on my own side with the mystery heroes and those new loot boxes.
Well, oh yeah, Primera's he's a mystery hero fiend.
Hey
Best
You
in
want
the
man,
to tell us
game.
about your experience with the patch so far, friend?
well, so far I did a brief video just showcasing all the new things that you got. Pretty much, there's specific characters that got skins, mostly a Bastion, a Diva, Genji, Hanzo, Lucio, Maze, Pharah, Zarya, Tracer, Symmetra, and Soldier 76. They all got skins. Everybody else who didn't get that, everybody got 2 voice lines and 1 unique spray, and then 1 more spray that you can unlock in the loot boxes. And then there's all brand new player icons that everybody can see now. They're all golden, and there's even the Pachimari that's golden. And I don't know. I think most of the times those player icons are probably the least interesting when a patch comes out, and these are, I think, are probably the better ones, just because a subtle palette swap change to it and just a simple gold plaster is very shiny, is very poignant, and it looks nice.
I agree.
If you're
Um,
asking Cabron, he's definitely saying that the Pachamari player icon is the most valued of the new
Oh
patches that
yeah,
comes out.
it's got to be, man. It's got to be.
hey man, I'm
I
just
said it earlier. these player icons are
They're crispy, bro.
the
They're
best we've
crispy.
gotten since summer games. Like, just they're simple. They're not trying to do too much, I feel like, and like like they have uniqueness to the characters that are easily understood. Like the summer games ones where like Roadhog was doing the belly flop and Farrah was doing her Air Jordan. Those are
I like
sweet.
the I like the Zenyatta karate kick to the head. Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
yeah. And now these ones I think are right up there with them, if not higher. And a super underrated part of this, like this
They,
patch. Everyone's hyped about the skins, but I agree. Those player icons are sweet.
another thing I would really underestimate is the dances. Like the
Oh
dances in
man,
here are pretty crazy. They're pretty awesome. Like Sombra just
Ex-
has like a crazy like get down boogie down style
oh
dance.
yeah,
Tracer's
yeah,
got like the old school frog dance from like the Channel 11 when you were a kid growing up.
yeah. Excel already said he can't wait to get like a juicy earth shatter and just start dancing on their bodies while the
With
rest
his
of us get the
hammer.
kills. He's just gonna start dancing and the rest of us
Oh
will
my
get
god.
the kills.
The
So
Ron
yeah,
Howard is
man,
really funny.
those dances are definitely gonna lead for some great BM in league matches, and they're also just sweet on their own too. So definitely an underrated part.
Well, speaking about the league, like we're 2 weeks in, a lot of games have happened. Some teams off to the races, others getting their feet out there. I know that you've made power rankings describing what you feel where the teams place and stack up. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so obviously my power rankings and I like put it very clearly on the top. These are biased. I don't want people
But
getting
hey, these are
sore
from
about
Brett,
them. These are
and
literally
my
mine.
lists haven't been too good in the past, but I'm trying to correct that.
Literally, I said these are probably trash. But anyways, I don't think you can deny that Outlaws are probably looking like the strongest team right now. I really think it would have been a real interesting match between them and Resilience had Commander C not gone all Wizard of Oz and get picked up by a tornado on us last weekend. But just because the outcome went down as a win for Outlaws, and they just look really solid. Their only loss being to Armory when they didn't have Fankta, who I don't know if you've seen is at 49.94 right now on the EU ladder. That is
We gotta
crazy.
get that
He's got
win. We gotta get
five
that win.
days to get that win. So it's I think he five stacks. I think he's getting like 3 SR a match, so he's got to get like 2 wins or something. But
Well, it takes like 3 days to get one, so you gotta hurry on that.
takes 3 days to get a solo queue match on EU ladders. Takes 9 days to get a five stack match. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
but so I have Outlaws first and then Resilience. Next, obviously my bias shining clear. I have my team C9. We're 2-0. We've only played 2 matches, and the 2 matches we've played are against teams finding themselves at the lower half of the rankings. So how you want to value them is how you want to value them. I do think the addition of Milo coming back to C9 has looked really, really strong. So I'm going to keep us there at the 3. Next, I have Armory. Hard to pick against the reigning champs. No
I
matter what you want to say about last season's playoffs, they won. They got the W. Did what they needed to do. So
I do gotta say their match versus Outlaws, that was very surprising, and they looked really strong. Even without Fengta,
yeah.
they still had Tarnies, which is an incredibly strong tracer, and they had
Oh,
Storm, who was playing an
100%.
amazing Pharah then too. So like, I don't know, they were looking pretty strong. Maybe they just had like
Can't,
rough starts,
can't
but they're
agree
looking
more.
really strong now later on in the season.
I don't know if you kept watching the stream, but an hour and a half later, at one point they had 4 DPS, 1 tank, and a Mercy on Eichenwald against Koopa Kids, and that might have been as frustrated as I've been with the 6 members on Armor in a very long time. Volcons at one point switched off Lucio. Volcons, I'm putting you on blast because I've been telling you I'm going to. I'm sure there was calls inside the party telling him to do this as well. I'm sure he didn't just randomly do it. But at one point he switched off Lucio with I think like 70% beat charge and went Sombra
Hey,
because they
bro,
couldn't get through the point.
we need
I
Sombra, bro. We need Sombra. Sombra's
someone's
broken on this point. Sombra's
someone's gotta
broken.
go Sombra. So they I don't know what happened. Maybe they just kind of gave up and they were just having fun. Either way, Armory, if they can play to their full potential, we've seen what they can do. So I got them there at the 4. Next we got Koopa Kids, another team that if they can heat up, we saw logging out in Unleash's inner e-girl and become a Mercy main this past
There
weekend.
you go.
He looked top tier on that Mercy. I know that they've officially added Cake to their roster, so we probably won't be seeing too much more logging out on the Mercy. Probably going to see him moving back towards that Lucio. Soldier change. Like to see how that impact Aaron's. I know it's a super tiny change, but he's been hyping it up all week, saying he's done playing Soldier.
He's like,
So
I'm back on McCree, baby.
Yeah. So let's see what he does.
But Aaron's doesn't talk, so he says it in like a bunch of understoods and my ult is ready like that. But we get what he's saying.
You have to freaking pick it apart. And when you're choosing your characters, he just spams McCree, circle X, circle X, circle X. So you're like, all right, Aaron, you can play McCree.
One of the funniest things was watching him run back in the King of the Hill game as McCree with the flag. Honestly hysterical. So slow.
Tell me how that game we had freaking Aaron's pick it up as McCree. A couple games earlier, we had a Zenyatta run it back. And then one time Volts got 90% of the way with Roadhog, and then he died, and I picked it up. He got shot in the back of the head. Like we were running next to each other as Roadhog, and then all of a sudden just an arrow hit him in the neck, and he died next. It's like that episode of Game of Thrones.
OP now.
Yeah, the Hanzo change is gonna be crazy, but yeah, it was Aaron's. Let's see if he unleashes his McCree. Before we get too sidetracked, continuing our way down, I got discrepancy at the 6. Like I say, in there, kind of an asterisk. There was the whole resilience thing, where neither team had enough players, but, discrepancy had already forfeited 5 times in the chat previously, so we had to go with what we had already ruled on. Then Endeavor, who has kind of been a surprise to me. I think I expected them to start gelling quicker. But I guess when you have so many moving parts and you don't have OSEC there, and I know they're trying out new shot calling, keys to Endeavor's success is definitely going to be to not shoot Zarya bubbles. That's going to be important for them.
They just love to feed Zarya.
They make systems look like maybe the best Zarya in the game.
Another crazy thing was on their match, I think it was against Koopa Kids. Like, they had 4 ults on, like, the end of Route 66, and they just never got to pop any of them, and that's such a huge loss, because you could hold the end of Route 66 for pretty much the win, if you just play smart.
I bet 90% of defensive stops happen in that inside bit.
Yeah, so that was definitely, like, a big loss, I felt, for them.
It really was. I remember casting that. I was like, they're just not using them. I think they had Big Bang. Schick had Bond, and whoever was on...
And
Sporty was on Zarya. Yeah. Trance, and I think they might have had Earth Shatter or something, and they just didn't end up using them. And yeah, that was I don't know what you want to call that, but it happened. And then at the bottom we have Eminent, who I know is making some changes. They're trying out some new stuff, and I guess when you find yourself 1-4 and they've clinched a losing record this season in the Premier League season. If they can win these last 2 matches, jump to 3-4, you might be surprised. Depending on what happens above them, they might be able to squeak in and avoid the open bracket. Like I said, these aren't standings. These are just power rankings, and they're obviously biased. But it's been kind of a weird season for sure. We've had a lot of teams like one team crushes a team, and then the team that got crushed crushes a team that crushed the team that crushed them. like it's just like so confusing.
It's a bunch of dominoes fall now.
Someone be good. Someone be good, and someone be bad.
Standing out like crazy.
Yeah, it makes my life a lot easier when there's 3 teams that are 6-0 and 3 teams that are 1-5. Helps me a lot. So
that's
we'll
what really
see though.
matters right there.
Should be interesting.
So Primera. I know that you just heard the power rankings, probably read them before, but is there any team out of these 8 teams that you think is sort of like a sure bet to win?
I gotta give it to Outlaws. I gotta give it to Outlaws.
Too.
Just for the fact, Funkda's gonna go and barrage everybody. Meeper is just gonna go res people, or Storm Avatar, or whoever's playing the support. Good Lad's gonna go off. Tarnies is gonna go off. Even if they don't have their people, their subs will go off. Zero can do it. SR can do it. So for me, it's just their team. They can play whatever the hell they want, whatever they want to do. And even if it's not their quote-unquote main, you see these guys playing pretty well. And I mean, they really only took 1 L so far, and that's without one of their starters.
True.
But I have no complaints. Like, these guys are an EU team. It's like super late at night. They come early, on point. They're in the thing. I send them things, they respond. Like, I have no issues with them. Like, right, like
All right.
they're like the picture of what, like, yo man, if I have like 6 more of your teams, like, it makes my life so much easier.
All right, Prim, now I know this is going to be your favorite part. What teams do you think are straight up going to get bodied? Like, they're gonna get bodied. The two teams that you think are getting out of this thing.
Eminent, like I'm just like a numbers person. So right now, Eminent being 1-4, considering they only have like really 2 matches left, because there's 8 teams, so you play 7 other teams. Like, even if you go undefeated for the rest, you're coming out with like a 3-4. You know, like nobody else has 4 losses right now. The next one up is Endeavor with 1-3. You know, and even if they do the same thing, like you already have the bottom 2 looking at the bottom 2. Like, I don't see them coming up. You know, not like other seasons where there's like a possibility you could kind of like scrape yourself from the bottom. Like, Endeavor is like on the cusp. You know, like they could maybe make it, but if not, they're not sitting very pretty. Like, Eminent's already.
I think they're gonna make it. Cause I mean, for all we know, C9 could still lose 5 games.
Well,
It's true.
that's exactly my point. Like,
it's true, bro. It's
like no offense. Like, let's look at the matches we got. We got this weekend. We got Overwatch out. No, I'm lying. We got Resilience Remastered versus Eminent. All right.
Yup, and they play Outlaws.
I think Resilience will win that one. Okay, so that's another loss to Eminent. A win for Resilience. Overwatch Outlaws versus Discrepancy. While Discrepancy, if they have all their starters look nice, I still got to give it to Outlaws. So that's another loss for Discrepancy, putting them at around like 2-3. Then you got C9 versus Resilience. I haven't seen C9 really play too much besides that one scrim I watched. So I don't know. Will the Pharmacy be too much to handle for Resilience? Or can Resilience overpower them? You know, I'm going to give it to my numbers. I'm going to say Resilience. Diversity versus Discrepancy. If Diaclane's team can stop throwing, maybe they could win. If not, I think I got to give it to MJ's. So, you know, like right there, you're looking pretty
bro.
weird.
Aaron's is a force to be reckoned with, bro.
Yo, man, it's fine, but like he's going to need some help. You know, Diaclane's going to have to go off. Login got to go off. Maybe their new support Kate got to go off. Because right now, Diversity is one of those teams that we've been around so long, we know that they're better than their record right now. So it's just time for them to prove it. If they could go undefeated and crank out a couple wins, and then they're looking at, 4-3, that's pretty nice. You know, and then right now, if Discrepancy loses a couple, Armory, like they're all in the same boat. And then C9 is the biggest wild card because they only played 2 matches. Everybody else has played at least 4 or 5. So that's where things can really shake up. If C9 just gets farmed perpetually, I mean, who knows? They might be Eminent C9 in the bottom.
So, but who would be your pick with Eminent? Because you already said that Eminent's going down there.
They're going down there.
What do you think is the other team?
Just off numbers. I think I gotta give it to just off the numbers. I will have to think maybe Armory. Maybe Armory. Maybe Armory. Yes.
Yes. That's quite the pick after they are the only team currently to have beat Outlaws.
True, but the fact that they lose to other teams that are not quite prevalent, like they're the team that sometimes they match up to their opponents, and that's not necessarily a good thing. You know?
I sort of put it how I know Brett put it before, the old Resilience, how they on any given day they could beat anybody, and then on any other given day they could lose to anybody. Like, that's how I see Armory as right now.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes Dynamo looks like Evan Mario 2.0. Other times it's just not clicking. And they I'm confident though that Armory would handle their matchups, but like I said, they could, like you just said, they could literally lose to anybody. I think a lot of it has to do with exactly. I think a lot of it has to do with if OSEC comes back or not. If he's not there, I don't see Endeavor winning another match. they don't look the same without Osek. They were a scary team in the qualifiers with that roster, and all you were thinking about is just wait until Dizzy gets back. Just add Dizzy to this roster. Think about how good they'll be. And now all of a sudden, Osek's not there. Dizzy and Schick still seem like they're trying to get back into the competitive swing of things. I think Hosian's officially done. That was his last match. They're bringing in some new names. I don't know if how it's gonna gel. They need Osek, man. They need Osek.
I sort of agree. Like, Osek was like their Rhine player, and he could always like flex off to other things. I think he was their shot caller, and I'm not too sure.
You're
But,
right. Yeah.
losing like your main Rhine player is just really huge. I know that other players on the roster, Silent plays a little bit of Rhine, but you can't really compare it to like
Nope.
your main Rhine. Even though like Silent had a great game against Clan, who's one of like top tier Rhines.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just also you put Silent on that Rhine and you lose Silent's ability to flex onto the other things that he brings to the table, and that hurts them, man. It hurts them. They need Sec back, or I think they need to get a more dedicated Reinhardt, because I know Wispy also has the ability to flex, but he's just not a Reinhardt player. There's a difference.
Yeah, definitely a difference.
So, and in a league where I think Reinhardt players are kind of getting thinner and thinner, and like really good ones are starting to shine, it's something that they need to do.
100% agree. Like I said, Osek is just too valuable for them not to have, and especially if they don't have another caliber Reinhardt like that, they're gonna struggle against other teams that have those type of caliber Rhine.
I agree 100%.
Alright, now I know that we were talking about the patch a little bit. You were talking about the new Hanzo buff. There was also like Reaper buff where he got I'm not really too much of a crazy buff in my opinion, where when he wraiths, he gets all his ammo back. I mean, my personal opinion on that, I don't think it's that much of a buff, because a lot of like the experienced Reaper players, they usually reload before they do the wraith.
Exactly.
Anyway. Any opinions on that?
How often are you playing Reaper where you wraith and then you wish you had ammo? Usually you're wraithing to get out of a fight, not to, continue a fight. So I think Reaper's still in a tough spot. It's just he gets countered by what he's supposed to counter, and that's not a good thing. So I don't think this buff changes where Reaper is. He can be situational depending on what your opponent's running or the map, but no, I don't think we're gonna see the return of too much Reaper play.
Okay, now, I don't know how often you play Genji and Hanzo, but they have, like, sort of a similar nerf, sort of similar buff where that, their wall climbing ability, they get to really engage right after it, and I play Genji a little bit, like the pro Genji, best Genji ever, and I wouldn't say, like, once again, it's not, like, game-breaking, but it's definitely a lot smoother being able to engage people right off the wall climb. Usually you, like, get up a wall, and then you get Helix rocketed or flashbang right off of the wall, trying to, like, focus somebody. Definitely helps a lot, especially from Hanzo's standpoint, now that he gets to keep his charged arrows. He also has the same wall jump. So, like, you just run up the wall with a scatter arrow and just shoot it at the ground.
It's crazy. I think that's going to make Hanzo much more viable, and like I know just from watching like some Seagull streams the past few weeks, he's been showing spots in comp where, like, I know a specific spot on Li Zhang where you can literally climb poke, and he's excited for it. Yeah, it's gonna be. And I don't, maybe we'll see the return of some of these Hanzo memes that we used to see. That all our favorite players.
The legend, Scott.
Yeah. Who else played?
I know Twitters plays Hanzo. I remember
ZT. Chaos Blue. Yeah, maybe we'll see the return.
What about you? How do you think that these Genji and Hanzo changes are going to affect them as characters?
I mean, I always think if you're picking a Hanzo and I know you're not good with them, I just consider you throwing. Yeah. Because there's so many other characters that like kits or just value to the team outweighs what Hanzo can do. You know, like I don't mind you doing it with a Zarya. Like if your Hanzo's decent enough to continue getting picks, get an alt, combine it with a Graviton, that's fine. Like I don't mind. But like if I don't see you doing something, you know, I'm gonna be pretty heated. So I don't know. Maybe it could bring
Stop
some
picking
life.
Hanzo and Primera's quick play games, guys.
It
Fire.
just tilts me. But you know, like maybe it could benefit some players, and maybe those good players can shift everybody's perception on what throwing necessarily entitles. Because throwing could be anything. You could be on a decent character, and if you're just not good at it, like you're throwing, you should pick something that you could play well and benefit the team. You know, and I'm looking at every single DPS person out there saying, "Oh, I could DPS," and you don't have a medal or you're not getting picks. Like go on a tank, go on support. Because how many times am I playing quick play or comp and you're like, man, I wish I could get another support instead of like a Widowmaker in a Hanzo, but nobody wants to go support. Let alone everybody complains that support's the easiest thing to play, but that's like so hard to find nowadays. So I don't know. Someone's
Yeah,
lying
that
to
is
me.
true.
It's how I got
Slim
these trust
pickings.
issues. I don't know.
Slim pickings. How I got these
And
trust
then
issues.
Genji, I mean, Genji just like Reaper's in a tough spot. Like while he's pretty good, like you don't really see that many players that still play Genji in such a high caliber. You know, like now you see really good tracers, Pharahs, and soldiers. That's pretty much the thing. You know, occasionally you see a McCree, but again, he's pretty much outmatched by a soldier. Unless you're like Supreme Arons that prefer the McCree over the soldier because you're just weird like that. And
Yeah,
for
even then,
Reaper,
it's just. Go
and
ahead. Okay.
for Reaper is just like Brett said, like how many times you're like, oh man, I wish I had some ammo. Like I rather them do something like maybe a 25% health regain, cause you know he already eats the souls of somebody you kill. He gains a portion of his life back. You wraith out, maybe you get like 20% or something. It's really not that much.
That
It's
would
like
be
maybe 50.
nice.
You know,
No,
or
well, I think
maybe
he already gets 50 from the thing. Maybe if they like bump it up to like 75 or something like that,
yeah,
get a nice
or like
addition then.
maybe like how much distance he could travel. You know, or maybe he can move a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
faster.
if
You
they
know,
sped up his Wraith form to like really get the hell out of like deep diving, that would be really useful for him.
yeah,
I
it
think
could
what's
bring
gonna
back
make him
dive comp.
useful, I think what would make him really useful is like his teleportation. Like if he could just do it instantly, like I think that
Yeah,
would be amazing for him
yeah,
because
yeah.
it takes an hour for him to like set up, and then if you get hit, like it stops working. He
Plus,
just
he
Yeah.
jumps with it.
screams to
Yeah, like
everybody that he's teleporting. Lets the entire world know that Reaper's teleporting behind you. So,
that's I'm not a fan of that. Soldier also got a little bit of a nerf. He had his bullet damage got reduced by 1 from 20 to 19. Now,
mhm.
I mean, you could definitely see the effects of it, in my opinion. I don't think it's like game changing where you're not going to see soldiers, but you definitely feel like the DPS drop off on that.
Okay.
What are
Agreed.
your guys' opinions on it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Prim.
Okay. For me, I'm miffed. I didn't want to see this because this indirectly buffs pharmacy because
True,
we
true.
run hit scan to counter pharmacies that are plagued in quick plays from mystery heroes to your comp games. How many times are you saying, yo, bro, can someone kill this pharmacy? Can someone kill the mercy? She's gonna pop res. Watch the barrage. The Pharaoh's coming behind us. And justice is just reigning above, and there's nothing you can do about it because your McCree and your soldiers getting like pawned. So like him not doing so much damage, even if it's just 1 damage less, if you count up his entire clip, including headshot, that adds damage. Wow, I always said that Soldier got really buffed to the point that they kind of overshadowed McCree. It just this direct nerf to Soldier, while so minuscule, is an indirect buff to Pharmacy that already plagues both console and PC right now.
And we
And
definitely don't want to see that.
yeah, and at this
Well,
point,
speak for yourself.
Well, yeah, well, when you got the one trick Farrah bolts on your team, you definitely need that buff.
yeah, I mean it depends. Like I don't know how they come up with some of these buffs and nerfs. Sometimes I think they are really out there, and some of them like I could kind of get what they're trying to do. but I'm not too sure if they think about like the indirect, you know, things that happens when you do this, like the soldier helping Fair out. Because I feel like, like the last three patches, Farah slash Pharmacy has been getting really good. And it's whether
Yeah.
it was like started with her rocket jump that she can hover even faster or higher, and she could fly even higher. And now Pharmacy having that invulnerability combined with before that patch had the 2.25 I think seconds on the res instead of the 3 seconds, just makes her faster. She could run away after popping a res and continue getting another res, where before it was literally a suicide mission. You're resing your team in exchange for your life. And like now McCree had his damage nerfed because I think he doesn't do as much damage as greater distance you are from your target. So like right now, like who can stop Farah in the air? Like
Yeah.
Orisa, Soldier,
McCree's been
McCree.
getting the cock by fucking
Yeah,
Blizzard
Yeah.
for a while.
and then
And
like
the go
and
ahead.
then
Sorry.
now so you're thinking like, okay, Tracer's still good in the ground. All right, Sombra's not countering no Pharah. Maybe the Mercy, Reaper, like he gets outshined by every single DPS right now. So like, who can take down Pharah? Like killing the Pharah is like such a team effort, where an other DPS to counter is like really not that hard. So
Only other
it's
Pharaohs,
weird.
how to win that air duel. Working
Yeah.
with Supreme Errands, that's about it.
I mean, I know they said in the buff that the reason that they wanted to do what they did to Soldier is because literally they didn't want to say it exactly, but they said it was because people were only picking Soldier, not McCree. And when you think about it, think about the amount of Soldier mains that we see compared to the McCree mains. I mean, literally the only McCree players I can think of that play at a high level are Rev and Kiefdom. I really can't think of another guy that like solely plays McCree. I mean, obviously Aaron's can play McCree, but he's a god soldier as well. These are guys that don't really play, as much soldier. I've seen them both play soldier because they're hit scans, but McCree just isn't really played as much at the competitive level. And I think they're trying to bring him back in, but I think the better answer wouldn't have been to nerf Soldier, but maybe to give McCree a little buff.
I
But
think,
they did it the other
me
way.
personally, I think that it's more of a comp thing that with people running such heavy dives with divas and Winstons and Genjis and pharmacies and tracers and things like that. McCree just doesn't have the utility that a soldier has. Like his damage output and his stun are like really good, but if you can't get it out, what's the
Yeah,
use? Like Soldier has a healing station, a Helix rocket that does 120 on a hit, and he has a sprint that keeps him alive during dives. Like if someone dives Soldier, he can literally run away and live. As
exactly.
opposed to if someone dives McCree, McCree needs a ton of help from his team, which might not be there.
Yep.
Like it takes a lot of abilities to keep people alive.
Especially like you said in comp. I mean, McCree being more burst damage, whereas Soldier's static. Exactly. Soldier can just light up the Winston while he's in the air, whereas McCree's really got to make sure he's hitting the shots.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, I agree. But like I said, I think that maybe by trying to get McCree more into the game, into the meta, instead of nerfing his competition, maybe you just make him a little bit better so he can play with the competition. Because now it's kind of like yeah, it's your choice of the hit scans, but I hope you're really good. Otherwise, this fair is going to be a really big headache.
Or this dive comp is just
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So maybe we'll see some quad tank or something to try to. Diva might even be a little bit stronger now just because her role in both of those situations would probably go up.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of tanks, Reinhardt finally getting a nerf since I think the beginning of time. He hasn't been touched or
Yeah,
touched this strongly, in my opinion. With his Earth Shatter, it's gone from 3 meters, they've reduced it to 2. And also on top of objects, so like if you're on the payload and things like that, like the amount of things that it could climb will reduce by 1 meter as well from 3 to 2. I think this is huge because there's been so many times where I feel like I'm getting earth shattered out of the sky as like a Genji. Like I'll dash straight up and I'll get earth shattered and I'll just fall all the way down to the ground, stunned.
Yeah. I know Excel seems to think, it'll be noticeable, but he doesn't think it'll be game changing. I don't play really enough Reinhardt to say, but I do know plenty of times I'm jumping around the payload and an Earth Shatter comes off, and I'm like, well, I was not even like I was well above the ground there. How did
Yeah.
that? So I agree.
I think that, like, I agree with Excel. Like, I don't think it's going to be game changing in the sense that people aren't going to pick Reinhardt because, once again, like, Reinhardt is
Right.
the main tank. Like, a shield with 2,000 health and a hammer that does 75 melee damage in a confined area. Like, you just. Like, no other character has that ability to do what Reinhardt does.
Not even close.
Primera, what are your thoughts on the Reinhardt nerfs?
I don't really think it's gonna be that game changing. I think it's just a minute detail for that. And like Brett says, as a Lucio, I know I'm like on the tip top of the payload, and then when I hear Halma down, I'm like jumping, and I'm just like raging. I'm like, dude, I swear, like I wasn't there. Because my team be like, yo, why you got hammered down? You should have dropped the beat. I'm just like, I wasn't even on the ground, bro. But okay, like, check out the VOD later. I'm not lying.
Like, Primera's like skating on top of the statue on King's Road. He gets hammered down from the ground and just falls all the way from the top of the statue.
I like to do those massive, huge, long drop for the beat.
It's like a
yeah.
snowflake. Well, I think that's all of the patches. Oh, no, there was also an Orisa. Yeah, there was also an Orisa one.
So they're getting her shields quicker. That's the only thing, really.
No, her fusion driver damage got reduced by 9%, which is probably going to be big, but she shoots like so many bullets.
Right.
I don't really play her that much. I know that we have Scorchy and Manga Blood Bolt that actually are pretty decent divas. So maybe we'll get them on the podcast next week and talk about how they feel about the new Orisa thing. But like I said, I personally don't play her. I don't know if any of you guys do.
No. Nope. I think the shield will be interesting though, because she might actually be able to be used as a main tank now. It'll take coordination, but I mean, she's getting 900 shield damage every what? Eight seconds now. That has potential. Ran with a diva maybe, or like a good Zarya that knows how to use her bubbles. Has potential to be like a main tank. So yeah, definitely Magna and Scorch would be the guys to talk to about that.
Yeah, well, that's personally what I think anyway. So I think just one more thing on my end anyway. So we've been talking about, like we said before, doing tournaments for just pretty much fun and everything. The Capture the Flag tournament. We're going to be looking into that and getting back to you guys. And we're also looking into a no limits tournament, like how they had back in the day with like double Winston, double Tracer, double Lucio, double Reaper, like things like that. And
double Ebola.
Yeah, pretty much double Ebola. And
that'll be fun.
We're gonna be talking about that probably this week and getting back to you guys. And we're gonna need your feedback because we don't want to make an event that you guys aren't interested in. So definitely get back to us, right on the comments, right in our Discord, add us on Twitch and Twitter, whatever you gotta do. Just let us know how interested you are in these events so we can come up with them. Or if you have any other ideas about any other tournaments or things like that, just let us know.
Exactly.
I think that's it for me. Do you guys have anything else you gotta say?
I just want to add that I'm pretty sure it's basically public knowledge by anyone in the Discord now that Mega Mulani has kind of stepped down for the time being. So any thing that you would have discussed with him previously, AWL, maybe rulings, whatever it may be, wanting to cast stream, just shoot me a DM, Brett, on Discord now. I'm kind of handling all that stuff now. Nothing will change, just the person you talk to. So I appreciate that, guys. And yeah, other than that, thanks for listening to the podcast. I'm good. You guys can wrap it up.
Maya, anything for you?
Nah. I mean, you might see me playing a little bit more quick play since this event has came out. So, as long as you don't throw in my quick play game. As long as you don't throw in my quick play, you could probably join up. But if I invite you, just like hit me up. If not, I'm pretty busy. I'm working on a website. I'm doing all this PWL stuff. I got a bunch of articles I gotta do. So yeah, just shout out to the people that have been playing in our league. Shout out to all you Overwatch people that continually to watch us. Shout out to you, the players who still play this game after it hit a year. And hopefully you guys can play way more than just one character. But I know that has like super high expectations, so I don't know if that's even feasible. But yeah, this is Primera Spada 9-1, and that's all I gotta say.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.